Good morning, afternoon, or evening. How y'all doing today? Welcome back to Mr. Moore's Algebra 2 class. Today we're going to talk, well, we're going to wrap up actually, solving systems of linear equations. We already learned how to solve systems by graphing. We learned how to solve systems by substitution. And now today, I think by far the easiest method we're going to learn is elimination. All right? So let's just get right to it. Think about elimination, though. In fact, think about all of them. The graphing method, you graph to solve. Substitution, you're substituting one variable for the value of another variable to solve. Elimination, when you eliminate something, you get rid of it. Okay? So what happens here is, first step, line up the equations variable to variable. In other words, write them in standard form. Okay? Standard form. If you remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c. So whenever they give you the equations and you want to solve them using elimination, go ahead and use standard form. In this example, they are already both in standard form. And then it says, add the equations together, making sure that one of the variables is eliminated. Once you have them in standard form, guys, what you're going to do is literally add them. But the whole goal of this is to eliminate one of the variables. Once you eliminate one of the variables, you solve for the variable that is left over. So 4x minus 4x, that cancels, my brothers. And I've got 5y equals 25. Now, you divide 5 to both sides. Y equals 5. Now it's just like substitution, guys. Substitute the value of the variable you just solved for in either of the given equations and solve for the other variable. So now I can plug this y into the first or the second one. Someone said plug it into the first one. So I've got 4x plus 2 times 5, which is y, equals 9. This is 4x plus 10 equals 9. Subtract the 10 to both sides. 4x equals negative 1. Divide by 4. X equals negative 1/4. So my solution here was negative 1/4, comma, 5. And like always, you can plug it in and check. 4 times negative 1/4 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 10 is 9. It works. Negative 4 times negative 1/4 is positive 1. Positive 1 plus 15 is 16. It works. If you plug that x and y back into the original equations, they both have to work. If they don't both work, guys, unfortunately you made an error. Okay? Does that make sense, boys? Promise.
Yes.
May I continue?
Yes.
Okay, number 2. Now sometimes, guys, they're not going to be nice and pretty lined up like it was before. Sometimes you will have equations that do not eliminate easily. In these cases, you need to line up the equations and create an equivalent system by multiplying each side of one or both equations in a system by the same non-zero number. Then after that, you line up the equations variable to variable and eliminate the variable of your choice. And then step 3, you substitute that value back in to either of the original equations and solve for the other variable. So, in this particular case, we have to make a decision. Who do you want to eliminate? You want to eliminate the x? Okay. I've got 2x here, though, and 3x here. What would I multiply to this top one and to this bottom one so that I can get opposite x's that cancel? Sir?
So the top you multiply 3 and to the bottom you multiply 2.
Okay, you multiply a 3 and you multiply a 2. That's wrong.
-2.
Negative 2. Very good. Let me go ahead and I'll explain why it's got to be negative 2, my brother. It's got to be negative 2 because if I multiply this by 3, 3 times 2 is 6. If I multiply this just by 2, my man, it's 6 again. How does 6 plus 6 cancel each other out? Right? Great, great. Good job. Great mistake. So it's really negative 2, my brother. And then we're going to go ahead and calculate each of these. So this top one will be 6x plus 21y, thank you, equals 12. The bottom equation will be negative 6x minus 15y equals positive 10. Yes, sir, my brother. Did I mess up?
Negative 10y.
All right, so hold on. Yes, I did mess up. It's not 15. It's 10. Thank you, my brother. So now we're going to go ahead and... Yes, sir?
Oh, no, 50.
No, talk to me, my man.
When
I'm here for you.
you're multiplying the two equations, can you put the negatives on the top or bottom?
Yes, sir. The question was, could I have made this a negative 3 and this a positive 2? Sure. That's where the choices come in. Thank you, my brother. In this case, guys, you have to eliminate 1, though. A lot of times people will get all confused and frazzled, and they're like, oh, I can't figure it out. Yeah, because you didn't eliminate anything. You have to eliminate. So now the x's go bye-bye. I'm left with 11y equals 22. Y equals 2. Usually, guys, not always, but usually if you get a really nasty answer, you usually did something wrong. Okay? You get like whatever, 17/39, you're probably wrong. You get 1/2, 1/4, 2/5, you're probably right. But if you get a real nasty answer, you're usually wrong. Now that I have my y, I can plug it into either this guy or this guy. Who do you want to plug it into? Because I don't care. I'm not being sarcastic. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, so let's plug into the second one. So I got 3x plus 5 times 2 is 10 equals negative 5. Subtract 10 to both sides. So I've got 3x equals negative 15. Divide that bad boy by 3. X equals negative 5. So my solution is negative 5 comma 2. And if I go ahead and plug it in and check it, it better work. And it does. Because negative 10 plus 14 is 4. And negative 15 plus 20, plus 10 is negative 5. So it works. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
It's not that bad, is it? It's a lot easier even than substitution. Okay? Now, please be aware of the fact that on the test I will say, solve these specifically by graphing. Solve these specifically by substitution. Solve these specifically by elimination. Then I'll give you a solve any method you want. Okay, and then we'll do the next lesson, solve the inequalities. But does that make sense?
Yes.
May I continue? All right, my brothers. I got nothing else there. Let's go. All right. So this one's pretty simple. Let's check this out. I just start adding here, right? But look at what happens here. Cancel, cancel, cancel. What happens when I get a true statement? All real numbers. Very good. That will happen. I just want you to know. Sometimes it happens. I don't want that to happen to you later and then you're stuck and you don't know. You have to put all real numbers, sir, because that's the answer. It's infinitely many solutions. Whenever you get a true statement, what that's telling you is, hey, I can put any x and any y in here and they're going to work always. Thank you, my man. Here, a little bit of a different thing. When I add them, cancel, cancel, but 0 equals 16. What happens when there's a false statement? That's no solution. Okay? And now let's get to the good ones. Who do you want to get rid of? The x? Okay. What do you want to multiply this by then? By a 2, and this bottom one by 5. So now let's multiply it. So I've got 10x plus 8y equals 20. And I've got negative 10x plus 15y equals negative 135. Okay, the x's go bye-bye. 23y equals negative 115. Okay, if I divide 23 to both sides, y equals negative 5. Once y equals negative 5, I'm going to plug it back in. So I've got 5x plus 4 times negative 5, so that's minus 20, equals 10. Add 20 to both sides. So I've got 5x equals 30. Divide by 5. X equals 6. My solution, 6 comma negative 5. Does that make sense to every single person in here? We're good, boys? All right. Let's try the next one. What do I have to do first before I even try this next one, though, guys? Yeah, I got to move this over. I got to do it in standard form. So this is going to be 6x plus 4y, because I added 6x to both sides, equals 30. And 7x plus 10y equals 35. Who do you want to get rid of? I'd say the y's would be easier in this case. What do you want to multiply this by? 5. Very good. And this guy? Not 2. Negative 2. Good job, my brother. So this is 30x plus 20y equals 150. This is negative 14x minus 20y equals negative 70. The y's go bye-bye. 13 minus 14 is 16x. And that equals 90? No, 80. Yeah, what's wrong with me? Divide by 16. And that's going to be 5. So x equals 5. Once x equals 5, plug it in to the original equation to find y. So 4y equals 6. Negative 6 times 5 is negative 30. Negative 30 plus 30 is 0. So 4y equals 0. Divide by 4. Y equals 0. So my solution to this is 5 comma 0. Does that make sense, gentlemen? Awesome. Thank you. Any questions at all before I throw some word problems on you? Okay. We're good? May I continue? Thank you. All right, boys. Carlos and Juan attend a baseball game with their kids. They get to the game early to watch batting practice and have a dinner. Juan says that he will buy dinner. He gets 7 hot dogs and 5 Pepsis for $38.25. After the 6th inning, everyone is hungry again. So Carlos buys 5 hot dogs and 4 Pepsis for $28.50. Find the price of each hot dog and Pepsi. The good news about these, they're very simple. If you use elimination or substitution, elimination is much better. Graphing this would be a nightmare, okay? These are word problems. I know that a lot of people are scared of word problems, but you got me on your side. I'm gonna hook you up right now. I'm gonna show you step by step like always. But you gotta follow the procedures, guys. Okay? The word problems aren't just gonna jump out of the page and give you the equations. You gotta put some thought into it. And for that, I thank you by giving you partial credit on the test. If you do every little piece that I'm telling you, you'll get a little bit of points for each piece of the puzzle. Sometimes people set up the exact perfect equation, make one mistake in adding or subtracting, the whole thing's wrong. I don't think that's right. If you can show me that you understood the procedure, you knew how to set up the equation, well, man, you should get at least some points for that, you know. So follow my directions, please. First thing you always want to do is label, 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 label. Good. So let's call X. Who do you want to call X? Okay, hot dogs. It doesn't matter, but you call it hot dog. So Y would be the Pepsis. Okay? So, now, Juan bought 7 hot dogs and 5 Pepsis for $38.25. How do I set that up in an equation, my brothers?
5x plus
Let,
7x plus 5y.
thank you. 7x because it's 7 hot dogs. Okay? So 7 times x the price of the hot dog. 7 for every price of the hot dog. Plus
5y
5 for the price of every Pepsi Y equals 38.25. Very good. What's my second equation when Carlos buys?
5x
5x plus 4y equals 28.50. Guess what, guys? You guys got a quarter of the problem done already. Actually, 1/3 of it. Because now the other third will be to solve for x, and the other third will be to solve for y. Okay? So you got a third of the problem down right here, right now. As scary as you thought that was that really that scary? Not bad at all. Label, guys. Label. Show yourself what you're doing. Do yourself that favor. Now, choices. Who do you want to get rid of? Hold on. Let me just hold on. I'm gonna run out of space here. Okay, the Y. I think that's a wise move. Get that? Did you get? Yeah. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Okay, so what do you want to multiply times to the top? -4 and the bottom?
5.
5. Okay, so I've got -28x minus 20y equals 38.25. I'm going to cheat, but you cannot. This is going to be -153. Excellent. And then I've got plus 25x plus 20y equals 142.5. Thank you. Okay, so -28x plus 25x, that's -3x. The y's go bye-bye, and that's going to equal 10.5. 153 minus 142.5. 153 minus 142.5. Yeah, 10.5. And that'd be a -10.5. Divide by a -3, and x will equal 3.5. So we know that the hot dogs cost $3.50 each. Now that you have the hot dog cost, plug that in to find y. So 5 times x, which is 350, plus 4y equals 28.50. This is 1525 plus 4y equals 28.50. Subtract 1525 to both sides. 4y equals 8. No. 1325, my man. And then divide that by 4. And 1325 divided by 4. Wait, did I do something wrong here? 28.5 minus 15.25. Yes, 13.25. No, I did nothing wrong. Let's see, 3.5 times 5. 17.5. There it is. I knew there was something wrong here. So 17.5. Okay, so 28.5 minus 17.5. That's 11. That's 11. Divided by 4, 275. So y, my Pepsis are 275. So that's it. So my solution is 350 for every hot dog, comma, 275 for every Pepsi. Ugly numbers, not pretty, decimals, words, but not that difficult, is it? Let me pause and let you make sure you guys got that down. Okay. How about we learn how to read and pay attention? That by we I mean me. 15 times 13.5 times 3.5 is 17.5 plus 4y equals 28.5. Right? Okay. Now let's subtract 17.5 to both sides. Oh, I'm still going to get the same thing. 11, right? I get 11, which is 275. Yeah, I was right. Okay. So there you go. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next one. Okay, at a fast food joint, you got 5 cheeseburgers and a three medium shakes cost $15.50. At the same fast food joint, you got 3 cheeseburgers and 2 medium shakes cost $9.75. Find the cost of each cheeseburger and medium shake. What's the first thing we want to do? That's right. Who do you want to call X? Okay, the number of cheeseburgers. Very good. Cheeseburger. What do you want to call Y? Okay, the medium shakes. Okay, cool. What are my equations? 5x plus 3y equals 1550. Very good. And second equation?
3x plus 2y equals 975.
Plus 2y equals 975. Beautiful. Who do you want to get rid of? The y's? What do you want to multiply these by then to get rid of the y's? 2 and negative 3. Beautiful. So 10x plus 6y equals 31. Let me make sure. Yeah, 31. And then I got negative 9x minus 6y equals, okay, that's 27, should be 2850. 9.75 times 3, 20, no, 2925. 2925. And that's negative. Okay, have a good day. X equals, no, should be 75, 175. Minus 29.25, 1.75. So it's $1.75 for every cheeseburger. Now plug that sucker back in and find the y. So I've got 3 times 1.75 plus 2y equals 9.75. So 1.75 times 3 is 525 plus 2y equals 975. Subtract 5.25 to both sides. You get 2y equals 450 divided by 2. Y equals 225. So my solution, I've got cheeseburgers for $1.75 and shakes for $2.25. By the way, I never understood how and why that works. Shakes are usually more expensive than burgers. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. They got you already. They're like, oh, he's eating here already, or she's eating here already. Let's get him something to drink. Does that make sense, my brothers? Any questions, my brothers? Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you learned a lot.
Yeah.